Hiya, welcome back to In the Kitchen with Tabby. Guys, I think I just made some of the fluffiest bread ever. You are absolutely gonna love this recipe. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous or what? You guys are gonna love making it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So let's get cooking. All right, friends, let's get this fluffy white bread put together. So this is everything you're gonna need. Some softened butter, some flour and salt, and then we've got sugar, yeast, baking powder, and some warm milk and 1 egg. So kind of interesting that we're putting baking powder in this recipe and also the egg. I don't normally put egg in my bread, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna follow the recipe and trust the process. So first thing we're gonna do is pour our warm milk. You don't want it hot, you just want it warm. So we're pouring that warm milk right in. I'm gonna add my 1 egg. I'm gonna add my baking powder, my yeast, and my sugar. And we're gonna turn that on and give it a good mix. All right, we've got that nice and mixed up. Now we're going to leave it for 5 minutes and just let it rest. So 5 minutes, I'll be right back. All right, timer went off, so I'm gonna show you what it looks like now. Isn't that beautiful? Nice and foamy? That's what you're looking for. So we're gonna take the flour, and I'm gonna add my 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm just gonna give that just a little bit of a whisk, just to kind of whisk that salt in there a little bit. And now we're gonna add our flour and salt. I also changed out my paddle for the dough hook. So we've got the dough hook on there now. So we're just gonna let that go and let that mix in really well. And then we've got our butter here. It says softened. Mine might be just a little bit melted, but I think it'll be okay. So we're gonna mix this in. And when it comes together and starts to form a dough, then we're gonna stop. It's gonna take about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna stop it and add the butter. So I'll be back in just about half a second for you, 5 minutes for me. I'll be right back. While I'm waiting, I'm having a little snack with some Amish peanut butter and banana. And it's really good. Got about 3.5 minutes to go. I turned my speed up, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. It's still pretty soft, not pulling away from the sides yet. We're gonna let that keep going. We've got 3 minutes left. If you have not made this Amish peanut butter yet, what in the world are you waiting for? It is so good. Okay, time is up. So we're gonna put our butter in, but before I do that, I'm gonna give it a little scrape. You can see how that dough looks. Isn't that beautiful? I'm just gonna give it a little scrape down here on the sides. And then we'll put that butter in. Yeah, that looks great. All right, in goes the butter. And that's 1 stick or 1/2 cup. Okay, we're gonna turn this back on. Okay, I'm gonna let that butter mix around in there for, I'd say, at least 5 minutes until it really starts to form the ball and pull away from the sides. It kind of looks like it might need more flour, but I'm trusting the process. We'll see in about 5 minutes what it looks like. If I need to add a little more flour, I can, but I'll let you know. All right, I've got about 3 minutes left on the 5 minutes, and it's looking really good. I'm gonna show it to you. Still not pulling away from the sides yet. But that butter is blending in there beautifully, so I think it looks pretty good. We'll see what it looks like. I don't know if I'm gonna need to add any flour. Just have to wait and see. All right, it's been 5 minutes. It's not quite pulling off of the sides like I think it should, so I am gonna go ahead and put just about 1/4 cup of flour in there. And then we'll turn that back on for a couple more minutes. Okay, I think we're ready. And we're going to leave this right here in this bowl to rest and double in size. We're going to cover it up with my cheesecloth and just let it rest for about an hour until it doubles in size. So as soon as we get to that point, I'll come back and we'll take it to the next step. I'll be right back. So while that's rising, I have taken 2 of my bread pans. I've got one glass and one is a stone from Pampered Chef. So I've just lightly greased both of those, and that's what we're going to be using to bake these in. So make them into balls and make rolls out of them. You wouldn't need the bread pans. You could just make them into rolls and use a cookie sheet or a baking sheet, parchment lined, for baking. But in this case, I'm gonna try it like the recipe suggested, and I'm going to make them in the bread pans. So, okay, I'll be right back. All right, guys, it has risen for just a little over an hour, and look at that. It has definitely doubled in size. So this is what we do next. So we're going to take it, and we're gonna give it a little punch down, and then we're gonna plop it out here onto the table. Oh, that is so beautiful. And it smells amazing. All right, so we're just gonna give it a little turn here. I'm just gonna flour my surface a little bit here. And then we're gonna give this a little turn. It doesn't take much kneading, so you don't have to worry about kneading it, but we're just gonna give it a little turn, kind of coat that flour on it so that it's not too sticky. Okay, now we're gonna take that and we're gonna cut it in half. And I'm just gonna set one over here to the side. And this one, I'm just gonna form it into a nice little ball there. And then we're gonna cut as best we can. We need it in 3 pieces. So there's one, and we'll cut this one. So there's 3 pieces. So now we're gonna take it, and we're just kind of doing it just like that. Put those other 2 off to the side, and then we're just gonna roll this out. Now I have my bread pan here, right? So this width right here is how wide we want this piece. We don't want it any wider than that. So we're just gonna roll it out. And then we're gonna start rolling it up. We want it to be pretty tight, so you just want to kind of roll that up. Just like that. And then we're going to pinch that seam on the back. And then we're going to take these ends and kind of tuck them under, just like you do for your regular Italian or French bread. And then we're going to take that little roll and we're going to set it just like that in the bottom of that pan. And we're going to do the same thing with these other 2 pieces. Now, like I said earlier, I'm doing this like the recipe called for, but if you wanted, you could easily cut this dough into as many little pieces as you want. Kind of roll them up into little balls, tuck those seams underneath on the bottom, and then put them on a baking sheet, and you could bake them and make rolls out of this. So we're gonna roll this one up. Set that one right next to the other one, just like that. Okay, just like that. Now we are going to take a piece of plastic wrap, not the cheesecloth this time, but plastic wrap, and we're going to cover that up. And it's going to rest and rise for 1 more hour. All right, little tip I have found that if you kind of press the dough out a little bit before you start rolling, and then when you roll, if you kind of hold this piece and roll like that, and then pick it up and flip it, hold this side, roll it out like that, that works a lot better. All right, this is our last little piece. We're going to tuck that in here in the pan. So there's our second pan. Looks pretty good. We're going to cover it with some plastic wrap. You don't have to seal it up. You don't want it on there real tight. You just want to loosely, lightly cover it. So just like that. You can see how it's a little loose. I'm going to bring it over here to the stove and show you what the first pan looks like already. It's already rising. That's the first pan. We just finished a few minutes ago, and this is the one we just now finished. So they are both puffing up really nice already, but we're gonna let them sit here for an hour. They were probably gonna double in size, and then when they're done, we're gonna put them in my preheated 350-degree oven for about 40 minutes or until they sound hollow when you tap them on the top, okay? So I will be right back to show it to you when we're ready to put them in the oven. Hang tight. The timer just went off, and you are not gonna believe these breads. Oh my word. Look at how beautiful that is. Can you believe that? And then look at this one. So far, glass versus stone, they're pretty equal, in my opinion. Let me show you. They both look pretty much the same to me. They both look gorgeous. So I'm gonna put these in this 350-degree oven. They're gonna cook for 40 minutes. And I'll check them to make sure. Whew, it's warm. I will check them and make sure. I'll probably start checking them at about 30 because every oven is different. So I'm going to check mine about 30, see how they're going and how they look. And then when they are done, I'll take them out and I'll make sure and let you know exactly how long I left them in my oven for. Of course, your oven could be a little different. So recipe says 40 minutes at 350 degrees. That's what we're going to shoot for. But when they're done, we'll come back and I'll show them to you. Okay? I'm excited. I'll be right back. Well, friends, they are done. And I am so excited for you to see them. They look absolutely amazing. Look at that. Look at that. And there's the other one. Now, you can see it looks like the one in the stone pan rose or fluffed up just a little bit more. I don't know, maybe my pieces were bigger, I'm not sure, but other than that, I don't see any difference between the glass and the stone. I'm gonna bring you over here a little bit closer. Ignore the dinner dishes. I got more important things to worry about than dinner dishes. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to in heaven, is that there won't be any dishes. And I'll get to just eat and cook and enjoy it. I won't have to worry about calories or carbs or any of that, but especially not dishes. All right. Anyway, I've got a little bit of melted butter. So I'm just going to brush a little bit of melted butter right on the top of these little loaves. And then I'm going to let these sit for just a few minutes before I take them out of the pan. And then we will absolutely give this a taste. Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Can you believe we did that? You guys? You can do it too, you know. You can do it too. There is nothing that I do that you cannot do too. I don't have any kind of special talent. I didn't go to school to be any kind of a special cook or chef. Just like my mom always said, if you can read, you can cook. And it helps if you enjoy it too. But I don't think you'd be watching my page if you didn't enjoy cooking. All right, my friends. That is it. I'm going to hold this up one more time so you can see it in all its glory. Now that I got that beautiful butter on top. Isn't that pretty? Oh, you guys, I wish you could smell it. And here is the glass pan. And you can see how beautiful that color is in the glass on the bottom. Isn't that beautiful? Looks like 3 little baby loaves of bread. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, I'm gonna let that cool off just for a few minutes, and then I'll come back and we'll pop one of those out and pull it apart and see how fluffy it is. It's supposed to be really fluffy white bread. So let's see. I'll be right back. We're gonna do it, guys. I took them out. You can see how beautiful that is. So I'm gonna pull this apart on here so you can see. Oh my word. Okay, I've got my little plate here. Let's see if I can do this so you guys can see. Look at that, you guys. Holy moly. It looks exactly like it's supposed to. Look at the inside of that bread. And I turned my light on so that you can see better. You might get a reflection in my glasses, but I don't care. I wanted you to see that bread. That is gorgeous. Oh my gosh, the smell. All right, let's get some butter and let's give it a taste. All right, I tore off a little piece here. I'll put a little butter on it. Maybe a lot of butter. You know me and my bread and butter. Here we go. That's got to be a little bit of heaven. Oh my gosh. Happy dance, happy dance. Oh, you guys, it's so good. Oh, please tell me you're going to make this recipe. Please tell me you're going to make this recipe and post a picture when you do. Oh my gosh, that little bit of butter that we brushed on top. Oh, you guys, you're absolutely going to love this bread. I'm telling you right now, your family is going to love it. You are going to love it. Period. End of sentence. That's it. That's all I got. All right, guys, you know what I need you to do. I need you to spread this video around like some good butter so that everybody can see how easy it is to whip up some bread. It takes a couple hours for rising, but you know what? Wash the dishes while you're waiting. I didn't. My dishes are still there. Anyway, I'm going to do them right now. And just make something, experiment. It's the first time I've ever made this bread, and look how beautiful it turned out. I would have missed out on all of that if I had not just given it a try. Just like life. If there's something that you want to do, something you want to try, something you want to make, something you want to sew, doesn't matter what it is. Don't be afraid. Fear of the unknown. Don't let it hold you back. Just get out there and do it and just have some fun, okay? Guys, I love you so much. God loves you even more. Thank you so much for letting me into your home. Thank you for coming into my kitchen with me. I sure love having you here and spending time with you. Remember, Christ is the unseen guest at every dinner table, and he is the silent listener at every conversation. So just make sure those words coming out of your mouth are pure and sweet like honey, that they're lifting each other up, edifying and loving on each other, and just shining your light, because that's what we're called to do. I'll see you guys in the next video, okay? Bye.